So a book, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, the club came and asked me to do it, and it's obviously a nice thing. Just recognising, obviously, the sort of career that I've had up to now, and the club wanted to do a little chapter on it. So it was nice for me. I've enjoyed doing it. Kind of forces you to look back a little bit and remember some of the things that you've done in terms of your journey and everything else. So it's been a nice little kind of look back into the past.
I imagine looking back at some of the highlights will probably be in the Champions League. Does that make you excited about what's to come in the next few weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really looking forward to it. Obviously the playoff games are getting close to a conclusion now as well, and the draw will be, pretty soon after that. So, just looking after the league business, and we'll have a cup game in there as well. So we're obviously just focused on the sort of here and now, but in the back of our heads, we know that the Champions League is coming around pretty quickly as well.
A lot of big teams, of course, in the group stages. You've played a few before. Is there anyone you'd still like to play? Are you hoping to get in this draw?
I think, like you said, we've played quite a few big teams. Probably the one that I think most of the Celtic fans would like is Real Madrid. Probably similar in terms of I've not played against them yet. But we know that anybody we get drawn against will be a top team and a big challenge for us. So we're always looking forward to that as well.
And you feel well rested yourself, having not had these usual qualifiers you've had to go through?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely been a sort of slower start to the season in terms of the games and the number of games that we've played. But it's also given us good time to train and prepare really well for the games that we have had. So I think you can see with the start that we've had, the boys are working hard. They look fit, and the team looks pretty cohesive.
Hi, Callum. You've spoken previously about Tommy Burns and the influence that he had on your career as a young player and coming through the academy. Do you feel now there's a certain, not a burden, but there's something on your shoulders for you to then pass that on to the younger players as well?
Yeah, I feel like, for me to have someone like Tommy at the sort of head of the youth academy at the time, when I was coming through, he had a huge passion and enthusiasm for the young players in the academy, and he had a vision. Obviously, the building that we're sitting in was his kind of vision for the club. So to have someone that invested in the young players' futures was, hugely important to myself, and it gave me a lot of lessons throughout my young life and young football development as well. So I think it's only right that I try and pass on any of the knowledge that these guys have given me over the years, and try and pass that through to younger players coming through, or new guys that join the club, just about what this football club's about and how special it is.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to younger guys coming through the academy to possibly be sitting where you are one day?
I think probably the one bit is, I think you need to be prepared to work harder than anyone else. I think you have talent, you can have all those things, but ultimately you have to be able to work as hard as you possibly can every day, and have that mindset that you're going to work harder than everyone else, because every player in the academy is a talented footballer. There's no doubt about that. It's about then how you mould yourself and guide yourself up the ladder and try and get yourself to the first team, and hard work's a huge part of that.
Just going back, what you said to Sheila earlier, you said with the book it gives you a chance to kind of stop and look back at your career. Obviously, you've had plenty of success at Celtic, but what would be the standout moment, the memory you cherish most? Would it be your debut, winning a certain trophy, becoming club captain?
I think there's probably quite a lot that I've looked back. I think probably lifting the trophy as captain for the first time, I think is probably the standout one. I've had some pretty good ones. I've been a really fortunate boy to have so many highs so far in my career, but I think that one probably just pips it.
Is it right that the book's about yourself coming through the academy, always being a Celtic fan? Did you ever, obviously you dreamed of playing for the first team, but did you ever dream that you could be this successful, win so many trophies, have so many appearances, become club captain, lift the league trophy as captain?
I think you hope for all those things. I think that when you start out, I think that's where your mindset is, in terms of this is where I want to get to. But the realistic chance of that really happening is probably really low. But I think at the same time you have to try and aim for as high as you possibly can. You know, I just remember being a young kid and loving playing football. That's all I wanted to do every 2 minutes of the day that I wasn't either at school or doing other things. Then I was playing football, and that's all I can really remember is that love for the game. And when this club gave me the opportunity to do that and do it seriously, then, you know, I took it very seriously as well. So I think at that point, that was really my motivating factor, was to make as good an opportunity as this and try and achieve as much as I possibly could.
And just going back to the Champions League, now I'm not expecting you to say that you want Rangers to go through, but obviously they're just one game away from the group stage. What would it say about Scottish football? How big do you think it would be for Scottish football if you had both of the Old Firm clubs in the group stage for the first time in over a decade?
Yeah, obviously it's not happened, you know, very often at all, but that's the thing, that the league is strong. The league is getting stronger. You can see all the teams strengthening, and you see obviously Rangers' success in Europe last season in terms of getting to the final, the Europa League. It was then a good advert for the league in terms of where the quality was. So, you know, for the two teams to be in the top competition, then of course it tells you the strength of the league.
Aye, Callum, what other ambitions and aims do you still have as a Celtic player going forward?
Just to try and be as successful as I possibly can. Take every game one by one and try and remember it and perform and do well and make this club successful.
And looking ahead to the weekend with Hearts, what have you made of them since they came into the league, and what sort of challenge are you expecting on Sunday?
Yeah, they've been excellent since they made the step up. You know, Robbie's got them really well drilled. Some good technical players in there, especially middle to front. And they're a really organised group. They've done really well since they've come up, and obviously good finish last year. They've sort of built on that as well in terms of recruitment. So we expect a really tough task at the weekend, and we'll have to be at our best to make sure we try and get maximum points. And
finally from me, how impressed have you been with how quickly Moritz Jens has settled in and the impact he's had so far?
Yeah, he's been excellent. Great impact, as you said. Centre back to get 2 goals in 2 games is obviously excellent as well. So he's shown that he's a threat in both boxes, which is exactly what you want for your defenders. He's a great big guy. He's come in, he's got loads of personality, and you could see that he was going to settle quickly anyway. But, you know, all credit to him.